In the past year, we've sailed 3,000 nautical miles north from Panama to the Sea of Cortez in Mexico. To get here, we crossed the Panama Canal into the Pacific Ocean, explored the most remote parts of Panama, visited the most biologically diverse rainforests in Costa Rica, made some new friends in Honduras, met up with old friends in southern Mexico, and battled our way up the coast, tackling mechanical breakdowns and hurricanes. It's been a wild ride, and the long journey has taken its toll on us and on One Life. So, it's time we take her out of the water for the repairs and maintenance needed to take us further on this crazy adventure. We arrived into port in Puerto Penasco, side-tied to an open dock, and got right to work taking down our head sails. This needs to be done prior to haul out, as having sails open while the boat is on stands can be rather dangerous. Before we knew it, it was time to motor into the haul-out slip at Cabrales Boatyard. This is by far one of the most nerve-wracking moments we experience on One Life. Seeing her dangling mid-air by just a couple of straps is never an easy sight. Everything went smoothly, and the travel lift set us down on the hydraulic mover that would later position us into our spot in the yard. Cabrales Boatyard is a popular haul-out spot for cruising boats due to its close proximity to the United States border and only a 4-hour drive to Phoenix, Arizona. Gary stuck behind to tackle some boat cleanup, and I headed to check in to our Airbnb. So we met this really nice guy, Dane, through our friends on Calico Skies. And he was driving past the boatyard and asked if we needed anything. So I asked him if it would be all right if I loaded his car up with all of our dirty laundry and come back here to the Airbnb and do it. So there is a lot of laundry. I have 2 loads in already, and we still have this much to go. Sheets, towels, rugs. But anyway, I feel bad because I ditched Gary so I could come and do laundry. And I'm in this nice air-conditioned apartment, and he's sweating in the boat. So I feel bad about that, but the laundry also has to get done. So anyway, that's a pink job. Yay for pink jobs for me. Anyway, I'm gonna walk across the street. There's a fruit and veggie market and see if I can find something for us to make for dinner tonight. So this is everything I got for 200 pesos, which is about 10 US dollars. So 2 chicken breasts, cilantro, zucchini, asparagus, which we have not had in ages, garlic cube, avocado, red onion, mushrooms, and bananas. Gary made it home in time for a celebratory dinner and toast to the official completion of our cruising season.
Cheers.
Cheers. The next morning, we headed back to One Life and got straight to work. We planned to leave One Life alone in the yard for a couple months, so the list of preparations was quite lengthy. Gary started by pickling our water maker membrane, while I sorted through our remaining food and packaged it up for long-term storage. We didn't want to give any insects or rodents a reason to come on board. What are you doing?
I'm going through all of our spare parts, filters, oils, fluids, and making an inventory list. So I know what I need to order and buy when we're back in the States, because we need to stock up on everything before we go back in the water and head across the Pacific.
This boat's a mess.
I opened up our fuel tank because it's probably been, 4 months or so since we had the problem in Chiapas that we were dealing with, where we had a lot of growth in our tank and it was clogging our pickup lines. So I opened it up and it looks great in there. It's still very clean. So I think as long as we keep adding clean fuel and keep an eye on it, we'll be all set.
So we're just getting ready to leave the boat for the night. And it feels like we didn't get that much done. We've been here all day and we want to walk back to the Airbnb before it gets dark out. So ready to go?
Let's go.
A quick night's sleep is all we got because we were headed right back to work in the early morning. So the idea of the foil is to keep the heat away from our furlers and anything that's plastic on the boat that might melt or really deteriorate in the sun. But I already ran out of foil, so I cut up an old sheet and I'm tying that to everything. But it gets the job done. I know that looks ridiculous, but it'll definitely save us in the long run. What did we get done today?
I don't even know. We've been checking stuff off the list left and right. Today we pressure washed the deck and I pressure washed around the hull. We cleaned our anchor chain and put it back in. I dealt with our dive compressor, changed the oil in that and got that ready for storage for a couple months. Did some more inventorying of filters and spare parts. What else did you do, Brooke?
I don't even know. Seems like I did stuff all day, but I can't think of anything I did.
We've been doing so much, it's just all blurring together. We've got a really long checklist and we're about halfway done. So time to call it quits for tonight. Go get some food. We'll be back tomorrow.
I have a request of chicken wings. Sounds so good. I want chicken wings and a margarita. We're gonna go shower first. It's like gonna be like a proper date. We're gonna shower and then we're gonna go out to eat.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Settle down now.
Alright, so while Gary is working on getting our outboard engine off, I am going to inventory our med kit so we know what we need to bring back with us from the US. But I'm gonna do it in the bathroom because there's literally like no place to lay anything out but the bathroom right now. There's stuff literally everywhere. Look at our boat. It's completely a mess. This looks like a good spot. So we currently just keep our med kit in a waterproof dry bag, but that might be something I want to get while we're back in the States. It's just a different carrying case. It's worked fine for us, but I don't know. Crossing the Pacific, we might want to do something different. Alright, so up next for me is to go through this forward cabin. It is a real mess right now. We keep all of our dive gear, our fishing equipment, safety gear up here, and it looks like a hurricane hit it. It's normally not this bad, but since we've been just sailing and enjoying the last couple weeks of cruising and diving, it got a bit out of hand. Let's do it. Okay, it looks so much better in here. Sweaty, but now we have good place to put our sails. Whew. See what Gary's doing.
So saltwater didn't sit for months inside our engine. Gary filled a bucket from the hose and stuck the engine's seawater intake into the fresh water, while I fired up the engine and we let the fresh water briefly flush through the heat exchanger before shutting it down. Gary then removed our worn out and dying autopilot drive to make room for the new drive that would be installed at a later time. Puerto Penasco is a rather industrial town, with some tourism from nearby Phoenix and a large shrimping industry, but it's a perfect place for working on a boat. This would be One Life's home for the next few months, and we hoped she wouldn't be too upset with us for leaving her behind to head back to the States to attend the Annapolis boat show. In just a few days, we finished up all our work, caught a ride to Phoenix, and hopped on a flight back to the east coast of the U.S.
Well, I would love to talk to you guys about how much fun the boat show has been, but I have literally no voice left. There's been a lot of partying and pretty much talking nonstop, and my voice is just shot. I think I'm going to have to subtitle all of this, but that's okay. And I guess we'll just show you a little roll of the things we've been up to this week.
The Annapolis Boat Show.
Words simply cannot describe the amazing time we had in Annapolis. From meeting other YouTube channels to seeing old friends, meeting some of our awesome viewers, late nights, and partying with our patrons, we had an absolute blast, and we hope we are invited back next year.
So Boat Show 2022 is a wrap.
That's it. We're done.
Done. It was a really amazing experience to meet so many of our viewers. Thanks for stopping us and telling us how much you enjoy our channel. It means a lot to us. And yeah, now we need to go get some sleep for a couple days so we can continue our journey down to Florida to see our friends.
After our chaotic week at the boat show, we took a couple days to relax in Cambridge, Maryland with our dear friends and old buddy boat partners, Bo and Brandy, before we had to drop them off at the airport so they could fly back to their boat, Saoirse, in Guatemala.
Had to say goodbye to our friends, Bo and Brandy. We hate leaving those guys.
Brandy made you cry.
Yeah, Brandy totally made me cry, but they're really good friends of ours, and we don't know when we'll be able to see them again, but it was nice to be able to hang out with them.
So, what's this car we've been driving around? Well, it's a 2011 Honda Element, which we purchased in New York just before the boat show. You will be seeing a lot more of it, as it will be our transportation and our boat part delivery vehicle as we drive all the way across the US and back to One Life in Mexico. Our next destination was Florida, but we decided to make a pit stop in North Carolina to see our friend Trent, who recently bottled his first batch of Drift Creek moonshine. After a good night's sleep, we continued on our road trip. We were feeling a bit nostalgic as we drove into Merritt Island, Florida. It was hard to believe that this exact waterway has led us all the way to Mexico.
What's cool about this bridge?
This bridge is cool because One Life has been under this bridge before.
It's the first bridge on the ICW that we went under.
It is the first bridge on the ICW that we went under almost 3 years ago.
We knocked on the first of many doors that would open to us over the next several weeks as we bounced from house to house, from beds to couches, visiting friends and family. An enormous thank you to everyone who shared their homes with us. We miss you guys already. We had an array of emotions being back in Florida, the place we used to call home, the place that established our love for the water, and our dream of sailing the high seas began. The place we said goodbye to our cozy, stable land life and see you later to our friends and set off to chase a dream.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we spent the last few days out in Orlando visiting with some of Brooke's family. Today, though, we're headed back to Brevard County on the coast because we got invited to go sailing.
To go racing.
Yeah, we're going racing, which we've never done before, and
I tried to tell them we don't know how to
we
sail.
warned the people we don't really know how to sail, especially not racing, but they wanted to have us anyway. So we're headed down to the Melbourne Yacht Club, and we're gonna hop on a J30 that belongs to a friend of a friend, and we're gonna go out for a little regatta today.
When we arrived at the marina, we felt extremely nervous. Despite having sailed 10,000 nautical miles, we knew nothing about racing. We told Stephanie that we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, so you're gonna pull it all the way through, and the other end's what we tied to the one handle. So this is the twig. This one's a little more complicated to explain because I always have to figure it out every time I do it. But it goes through there.
Yep.
And then through there. Starts out through that first one towards the front of the boat. Yep.
All right, and then
Perfect.
Wherever I would be a good fit. Keeping in mind that I've never raced before.
It's all the same stuff. You just do it fast this time.
Yeah. Okay. The owner, Captain Elliott, gave us a quick briefing while we waited for the rest of the crew to jump on board. And then it was go time.
all right, we are out on the river and sailing.
I'm gonna furl?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring it in. What are you doing?
I don't know.
I appreciate your help.
You having fun?
Yeah.
I would have been a lot harder.
The race is about to start. It's actually already started. We're doing a staggered start, so it's based on the handicapping. So these boats over here are just starting now, but the boats in our class are going to keep going back and forth for a few more minutes before we hit the start line.
We lucked out and had perfect conditions for racing, with about 20 knots of wind and only slightly choppy seas.
Are you drinking while you're sailing?
Yeah, I'm drinking while sailing. It's not my boat.
So we're cruising to the finish line now. And the boat that's in first place in the series is behind us. So those are all the boats behind us.
Shortly after we rounded the last buoy, we pointed into the wind to drop the sails and then motored back to the marina to put the gear away and tidy up the boat.
So we just finished and it was a ton of fun. I would love to do it again. We've never raced before and it was a really cool experience, and it was even better because we kicked butt, so that was really cool. But the crew was really nice. The owners of the boat are super friendly and welcoming, and it was really cool that Gary and I got this opportunity to sail and race while we were here in Florida. But anyway, it's time for celebratory drinks and hopefully a nice sunset. All right, cheers you guys.
How was your racing experience?
It was a lot of fun. It was pretty sweet to have a boat full of people that know how to sail and be able to like tack and jibe and throw up the spinnaker and take it down really fast. It was pretty cool. It was a neat experience. I think we should do it more.
Do you want to race One Life?
I do not want to race One Life because that's our home and it's pretty aggressive to do that kind of racing.
And did we win?
Oh yeah, we smoked everyone except for one boat, but they were in a different class. But we actually started last and we caught up to everyone, so I'd call that a success.
All right, today we're on the road again, but this time we're going to see our friend Hans.
So we just drove down to Vero Beach and Tropical Storm Nicole is blowing pretty hard here already. But we came down to see a sailing friend that we met in the Bahamas. He's back on land now and he founded a company called Sunchill, which makes these really awesome floats for on the water or in your pool or behind your boat. So we're here at his warehouse and we're gonna go check it out.
This is Hans. We met him while sailing in the Ragged Islands, and you may recognize him from a previous episode when he came to our house to show off his newly invented product, the Sunchill. At that time, he was just getting started, using his mom's garage as his workshop, and only offered the blue and green color you see here. But things have changed quite a bit since then.
So we can get any of these colors. What one do you think would look good on One Life? All right, there are so many choices, but I picked one and you're gonna have to wait to see what it is. All right, let's go make it.
We headed off to find our tube, and with just a little guidance, we were able to assemble our very own Sunchill.
Just pull from 20 miles of cord and make your 23 feet.
Great.
There you go.
All of the Sunchills are made with love right here in Vero Beach, Florida. Just imagine how much fun we are going to have on this at our next raft up party.
Oh, wow.
One here, and then I'll let you take it. So I'll roughly do here. It's going to be no fun over there.
Okay.
To learn more about Sunchill or purchase one of your own, check out the link in the description below. We promise Hans won't make you assemble your own.
So one of the really cool things about the Sunchill is it rolls up into this little package and it only weighs 18 pounds. So it's perfect for the boat because we can literally just store it just about any place.
so excited to take this back to the boat. Our car is almost full of stuff. We better get back to One Life soon.
We don't even have any boat parts yet.
We just left Sunchill and we're headed to Vero Beach to hang out with Hans and his mom for the hurricane that's coming. So Hurricane Nicole is supposed to make landfall here in Central Florida tonight. So we're gonna go hang out and have a little hurricane party there before we continue with our travels. But look at these cool shades I got. These are Sunchill exclusives. How do you feel about it?
I'm pretty stoked. It'll be nice once we're in clear water. Need to get back to the boat. Can't really use it here on the highway.
Take me back to One Life! Alright, we're headed to see what this hurricane's doing. Holy crap!
We're starting to get pretty nasty out here. Feel about this?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
We had a delicious home-cooked meal and spent our evening chatting, playing chess, and waiting as Hurricane Nicole passed us by without impact. Life has a funny way of taking you full circle. As it turns out, just a couple streets from Hans is where we purchased our floating home 3.5 years ago. Our journey has taken us so far, and we are so excited to see where our One Life will lead us next.